terms of what's going to stop me, I'm the only one that can stop me. I don't say that to brag.
No reaction time when he won?
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. That man was panicking in the back.
Kishane Thompson now, storming forward. Kishane Thompson at team late, and they make it safe.
I don't like easy races. I hate them. I don't like going to the small races, the Florida relays.
Canadians closing. Kishane Thompson's going to have to fly here to grass.
Did Jamaican track fans just cross the line after Kishane Thompson's razor-thin loss to Noah Lyles? The moment that race ended, a storm erupted online. From Kingston to Twitter timelines worldwide, cries of robbery filled the air. But was it really a case of bias or just the brutal truth of split-second athletics? The cameras caught everything, the clock didn't lie, yet emotion took over logic in seconds. In a country where sprinting is practically a religion, defeat feels personal. Fans who once celebrated global dominance suddenly felt betrayed by a thousandth of a second. And in the middle of that emotional chaos, veteran analyst Ato Boldon stepped in, not to comfort, but to challenge Jamaica's own. His words lit the internet on fire, turning one close finish into one of the most talked about moments in track and field. This wasn't just about who crossed the line first. It became a battle over pride, fairness, and the fine line between passion and fanaticism. But as the flames of controversy burned brighter, one thing became clear. This debate was far from over. It was the kind of finish you only see once in a generation. Two men flying across the line so close the naked eye couldn't separate them. Kishane Thompson, the rising Jamaican powerhouse, and Noah Lyles, America's showman sprinter, locked in one of the tightest photo finishes in modern track history. The timer froze. The stadium gasped. Then, in the blink of an eye, the result appeared. Lyles first, Thompson second. The difference? Just a few thousandths of a second. And that's when everything changed. Within minutes, Jamaican fans flooded social media with claims that their golden boy had been robbed. Screenshots of finish line photos, zoomed-in stills, and slow-motion videos spread like wildfire, each one fueling the growing outrage. But the governing officials stood firm. The technology doesn't lie. It was fair, it was final, and it was done. Yet for millions watching, logic didn't matter. This wasn't about milliseconds anymore. It was about pride. And when national pride mixes with heartbreak, emotions tend to drown out facts. But that wasn't the end of it, because one respected voice was about to enter the conversation and shift it entirely. To truly understand the backlash, you have to understand Jamaica's relationship with sprinting. It's not just a sport, it's identity, heritage, and hope woven into the island's DNA. Every child who watches Usain Bolt on TV dreams of breaking free from small-town life and becoming the next legend. Every race win feels like a national victory, every loss a shared wound. So when Kishane Thompson, seen by many as Jamaica's next great sprinter, lost by the tiniest margin possible, it didn't feel like defeat, it felt like injustice. Fans recalled past glory days where Jamaican dominance was unquestioned, and the idea of bias from international officials stung deeply. The conversation quickly turned from technicalities to emotion, from stopwatch readings to accusations of favoritism. And in that moment, sports fans turned into digital warriors, defending their flag with hashtags and heart. But what many forgot is that sports, especially sprinting, is a cruel mistress. There's no room for almost. One blink, one lean, one fraction of hesitation decides everything. Still, the bitterness didn't fade. And that's when Otto Boldon's voice cut through the noise like a thunderclap. When Otto Boldon speaks, people listen. A four-time Olympic medalist turned commentator, his words carry weight, and this time, they hit hard. On live television, Boldon addressed the controversy head-on, saying he couldn't understand how Jamaican fans, of all people, could claim robbery in a race decided by milliseconds. Fan is short for fanatic, he said, and sometimes the pride gets out of hand. It was a rare moment of blunt honesty that sparked equal parts praise and fury. Some called him brave for calling out bias. Others labeled him a traitor for not standing with his own Caribbean roots. But Boldon stood firm, reminding everyone that Jamaica's global respect comes from fairness, not favoritism. His words cut deeper because they weren't just about Thompson. They were about accountability. He challenged fans to love the sport, not just the victory. And while some bristled at his tone, others admitted he wasn't wrong. In an age of instant reactions, Boldon's message was a call to pause, reflect, and remember that losing doesn't erase greatness. But the damage was done, and soon the debate went beyond Jamaica. It went global. Once Boldon's remarks hit social media, the fire spread beyond the Caribbean. Fans from the US, the UK, and even Europe jumped into the fray, arguing over fairness, technology, and national loyalty. Sports forums turned into battlefields of opinion, Americans accused Jamaican fans of being sore losers, while Jamaicans accused officials of subtle bias. Memes, debates, and even reaction videos poured in, keeping the controversy alive for weeks. What many missed the was how universal this kind of reaction is. Every nation has its share of biased fans. We've seen it in football, basketball, and especially the Olympics, where patriotism sometimes blinds reason. Yet the Jamaican uproar stood out because of how deeply sprinting is tied to identity. To doubt a result is, in a way, to defend national pride. But amid the chaos, a quieter truth emerged. The rivalry between Thompson and Lyles had just been supercharged. Fans were no longer just watching athletes, they were watching symbols of their countries. And as the tension grew, all eyes turned to see how Kishane Thompson would respond to being at the center of the storm. While the internet erupted, Kishane Thompson remained silent, calm, measured, and unbothered. When he finally spoke, it wasn't anger that came through, but focus. He congratulated Lyles, acknowledged the tight finish, and vowed to come back stronger. That's when fans began to see what kind of competitor he really was. In a time when outrage can go viral faster than a highlight reel, Thompson's grace stood out. He didn't fuel the drama, he rose above it. For him, the race wasn't stolen, it was a lesson. And that quiet confidence made an even louder statement. Champions don't whine, they prepare. Behind the scenes, reports suggested Thompson's training intensified. His goals sharpened, his motivation doubled. What the fans saw as injustice, he saw as ignition. The controversy that tried to drag him down instead became his turning point. And that's when observers realized this wasn't just about who won that night. It was about who would rise next time. But what did this mean for Jamaica's proud sprinting legacy? That answer would come soon enough. Once upon a time, a race result stayed in the stadium. Now it lives forever online. In today's digital world, every photo finish becomes a viral event. Every slow-motion replay an argument waiting to happen. Track and field has officially entered the era of viral drama, where the line between sport and spectacle blurs. Athletes aren't just competitors anymore, they're global brands. Each word, gesture, or reaction dissected for clicks. The Kishane Thompson incident proved it. Controversy sells faster than medals. At the end of the day, this wasn't about milliseconds. It was about emotion. The Thompson versus Lyles finish reminded the world that sports are more than numbers on a scoreboard. They're reflections of national pride, identity, and humanity itself. Jamaican fans reacted out of love, not malice. Otto Boldon's words stung because they came from truth, and Thompson's silence spoke louder than any post-race interview. Together, their actions painted a bigger picture of what track and field has become, a global stage of heart, hope, and heartbreak. In the end, there was no villain, no robbery, just a story of two men pushing human limits to the edge. But as we look to the next showdown, one question remains. When these two titans meet again, will redemption favor the humble or the defiant? Only time and a few thousandths of a second will tell.